Hey guys, my name's JoLiRob and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about little tips, tricks and revision strategies for making sure that you can reach the top of your potential. So we're going to start this off today with making sure that you have tidy files, tidy books, whatever you use. So this is a JoLiRob file. So this tends to be quite big. And for me, it doesn't fit in my bag. However, for some people, it fits in their bag nicely. If you've got one of the side bags and you only need to carry one of these around, this is actually a really good choice because you can keep everything really organised and tidy. Because, well, mine's a bit broken, but there's usually a little flat thing which you can keep everything flat and down so that it won't get broken or dog-eared like it does in a file like this. However, with this file, it actually fits in your bag, and if you're doing 3 subjects which all need files, say English literature, history, geography, and, well, you'll need 2 English literature files most likely because you'll be doing different subjects. You'll be doing different novels, you'll be doing different things, so you'll probably end up having several of these. So my advice to you is make sure if you're getting any, get some nice small ones which will be able to hold all the work. So generally the smaller ones will keep in everything that you'll need for modules or whatever you're trying to do. These, on the other hand, they'll be able to keep everything from an entire course in, but I'd only really recommend this if you're only going to have to carry this around, if this is the only file you'd ever have to carry around at one point. And another thing to mention are plastic wallets. You will have loads of plastic wallets which your teachers will have given you in all the previous things which you go through. If you just finished your GCSEs and you haven't thrown away all your stuff, then that's good, because you might be able to find some of these. As you can see, this is a bit creased and this is in my rejected pile, but it'll still do the job. The important thing, which isn't really that broken, is this bit at the top. So if you've got everything working all right on it, then you might as well just put it in, because I mean, yes, it's nice to have ones which are completely clear, but this will do the job. And if you're going to be writing on your work, you're not going to be able to write over the top of the plastic wallet anyway. So tip number 4 is possibly the hardest or possibly the easiest, depending on what kind of person you are. Now, I won't say that I assume that you have already decided on what university course you want to do at what university and what grades you'll need. That is not actually what I'm expecting of you, but I will expect that you will know what general fields you'll be wanting to go down. If you'll be wanting to go down something to do with medicine, or something to do with writing, or something to do with mathematics, because you could, in all of those fields, there are subsections where you will find yourself more interested by. For example, you might like maths, but you might discover that there's a mathematics and philosophy course, and you might go, hey, I'll give that a go. But I digress. What I'm trying to say is if you, for example, take history, but you don't like the history teacher or the subject, then you might have made a mistake. Now, I realise I probably have made this video a bit too late. Of course, you've got results day coming up soon, but you might not have seen this video by then. But if you have seen this video by then, make sure that you don't just pick something because you've done well in it in your GCSEs. If you don't think that you're going to pursue it later, you don't like the teacher, you don't like the work, you don't like the specification, you don't like what you're going to be doing in that course, then it's not something which you'll be wanting to doing because it's not something that you'll be wanting to do because you'll be having to find motivation to do that thing. And if you want to do well, you want to have a motivation of a goal which you can reach. For example, a university course, a certain job, a certain apprenticeship. Now, what I'm going to show you now is quite important to me. It helped me out quite a bit. So when I was studying English literature, I went on the internet and I found this audiobook of one of the books I was studying. I was studying Jane Eyre, and I went on LibriVox, which I am just going to get up now on my phone. So this is LibriVox. So say that you want to download a certain audiobook, for example Jane Eyre, then you can just Google it, you can open it up, and you can, when it loads properly, you can press download, open ebook. You can do quite a few things here. What I did was I downloaded it and I listened to it on the bus, or I listened to it on the way to school, or I listened to it whilst I was having my breakfast, or even whilst I had a free lesson and I was just reading the book. But I found it easier to concentrate on the book whilst I was listening to what was going on as well, because there's lots of times where we're just walking around doing nothing, or sitting on a bus, and you can't feasibly just get out a book which is about that thick whilst you're walking around and still be able to be safe walking. And similarly on a bus, a book that size could also be quite heavy, and you might not want to be carrying that around all the time. So this audiobook is very useful because you can just download it onto your phone and listen to it whenever. And it's also available on the computer, and it's very, very useful. Also, if you get the chance, you will want to read ahead, because if you're doing something which is literature, science, even maths to some extent, any humanities, you want to be reading ahead in the notes which you've been given, in the novels if that's what you have. Then you can see what you need to be looking at and what you need to be working towards. There will be things which you will not understand later on, and so if you can find those things early, then you can go and get a bit of help whilst there aren't too many people. And also, being that person who asks those questions in class is very useful, because if you're the person putting your hand up saying, "Sir, I don't understand this," or "Miss, I don't understand this idea," then you are not only helping yourself, but there's probably other people out there who are asking the same question, but they're too shy to ask it themselves. So that is what I'm saying about how you should try to enjoy your lessons. Tip number 3 is one which I wish that I had done from the very beginning, and that is to delete the games on your phone which will be taking up a lot of your free time. So I spent a lot of time playing Geometry Dash, playing other games like June, and even games like Scene. These are all games which I was playing most of my free lessons instead of doing any work. And once I got those games off my phone, there was nothing for me to do, so I just had to work. And I didn't feel like I was losing any fun because I was doing more work. It was just that I felt like I was getting somewhere more, so I was actually more satisfied when I didn't have the games on my phone. I enjoyed myself a bit more when I didn't have the games on my phone. Point number 2. So, for me, this is one which I also wish that I'd started earlier on, but I did kind of get into it towards the later stage of the game. If other people aren't doing this, then ignore them. You need to be doing this yourself, because if you keep doing what those people do at school, those people who aren't really trying, who are only there because their friends are there and they want to chat and stuff, then you can chat to them at times, but I would advise early on at least one free lesson dedicated, making sure that you do at least one free lesson of work every week. So, for example, at our school we had, let's say we had 10 free lessons. I would try and spend one of those free lessons doing some kind of work, doing some kind of homework, making notes or something along those lines. And as time got on, you can build on those. You can make it 2 lessons, 2 free lessons, and then by the end you might end up on 10 free lessons. However, I hope you don't after this next tip, which I'm going to give you now. My final and possibly my best tip is to use this tiny little app which I've been using, and it's been an absolute godsend. This app is called Anki, You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your computer, and you can use it on tablets and things like that. And you can connect them all together. You can synchronize them so that you can do it on your computer in the morning and put stuff in on your phone and stuff like that. So what I did myself was I just used it on my phone, so I'm going to show you how to do it just on a phone for you guys today. So what I did was I created a database, for example Physics 3, and in fact I'll show you what it does, right? I'll show you. So what happens is it comes up with a question, as you can see on the screen. It comes up with a question which you've put in earlier, and what you're going to do is you're going to press show answer once you think you know what it is. So this is the build up of an element, and so you just press show answer and you should get the answer right of a mass number of whatever you're talking about, and you can choose different options for how easy you found it. So I found that good, so it'll come back in 10 minutes and I can keep doing those. So to get started on Anki, all you need to do is download it on your computer, on your phone, it works on Android and Apple. However, I work on Android because it's just what I prefer. So what you're going to do is, you see in the bottom right hand corner here, you have a plus button. What you can do is you can press create deck. You will write a certain subject, for example, English, literature, quotes, and you'll create that. The deck is empty, so you can't review it. So you just tap on it. So you've selected which deck you're going to be working on. You press add, and here you go. You can work in here. It's basically like a flashcard system, so you can say my kingdom for Johnson, my kingdom for a horse, and you can say Richard III. I don't really know where that comes in. You can press the tick. You go and you carry on adding these. You can add another one straight after that, and you can keep doing that. And I recommend doing that several times a day. No, not several times a day, but at least once a day. You put in what you've done that day. So I found it especially useful for things like physics, chemistry, biology, sciences like that. I found it most useful for because you can put in facts. And so what you just do is just tap on it. My kingdom for a horse, you can say Richard III. You know, you didn't get it right. You try again. You don't do better. Then you can say it was easy, and it comes back in 4 days. And it's got a certain amount of time, which works really well, so that it will make sure that you remember things for a long time. And this took me about 30 seconds a day to review, and maybe about 5 minutes to put everything in. And when it came to the later time of year 12 where I had to revise, I only really did past papers because I didn't really need to remember anything because I had everything I needed on Anki. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video, and good luck on year 12. Goodbye.